Hello students, oh god, oh god, oh god, I mean it's all just too hideous how I look from this angle. I have escaped into my kitchen today. It's all going a bit crazy in my house and I appear to have a huge green cactus growing out of my head. We can work with that, that's fine. I was just thinking earlier that making these videos during lockdown is actually like watching me physically decay over the weeks. My nails, my hair, my eyebrows, I do apologise, but I'm going to do my best to get through methods and make what's ultimately a bit dull, a bit more interesting. So today we're moving on to, come here then, we're moving on to another, I am struggling to focus, I can hear crashing and banging in the living room, interpretivist method, which is observation. Which, I mean, what is observation? It's essentially watching people, which sounds quite creepy when you think of it like that. And there's 4 different types of observation. Okay. There are 4 different types of observation we're going to look at. So before we start, if you can turn to page 37 in your booklets, and we'll just have a look at the different types of observation. And to back this up, folks, if you could do reading in the book on pages 142 to 151, I know that sounds a lot, but that's all the different types of observation. So this is going to be a bit of a weightier week, I'm afraid, but we'll get through it. I'm also going to teach you some of the theory as well, so the quicker we get through the methods, the better. Okay, so as I said, there are 4 types of observation that we're going to look at, and you can see them laid out on page 37 booklet, and they're really split into the categories of overt and covert. Overt meaning people know you're watching them, and covert means they don't know you're watching them, which is a whole nother level of creepy for sure. And then we can split them into participant and non-participant. So in the exam they might ask you for the advantages or disadvantages of participant observation, in which case you'd want to look at overt and covert participant observation. If they asked you for the advantages or disadvantages of overt observation, you'd want to look at participant and non-participant. So the odds are in a typical exam question, you're going to want to look at least 2 types of observation. They really do look like green ears, don't they? Okay, never mind, that's cool. Right, so looking at the box. The first type of observation I've mentioned is overt participant observation. This all starts to mess with your mind eventually, I promise. I get very confused. So overt participant means they know you're watching, the sample, the group you're observing, know you're watching and you're joining in with them. Now that's quite a hard one to pull off, because if you say to people, can I come and hang out with you for the week? Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking notes or filming you for a piece of research. That's going to be quite tricky, but we'll look at how it might work. Then we'll look at covert participant observation, which is when you are joining in with the group, but they don't know you're watching them. And obviously there are lots of ethical issues with that. I don't know why that's making me happy. It's been a long day. Overt non-participant observation. So here, they know you're watching, but you're simply watching them and not joining in. Now, I should have been giving some examples of these as we went, actually, and I had meant to, but I was too distracted by my ears. So, for example, a good example of overt non-participant observation would be Ofsted, where people come in and watch your lessons, and you know they're there, but they're not participating. They're simply doing field work, taking notes, filming it, etc. And then there's covert non-participant observation, which is, Charlie, I'm doing a little film, baby. Thank you, darling. Covert non-part, here we go, it's all going to kick off from here, I guarantee it. Covert non-participant observation, which is, you're not telling them you're looking and you're not joining in, and at this point it all becomes very tricky. It kind of makes me think of standing behind a bush, and staring at people. Now, clearly, you may get arrested for that. So this is a very difficult type of observation to pull off, and we'll have a look at how researchers might do that. Please do not try standing behind a bush and taking field notes on people and mention my name. Charlie, Yes, he's being quiet. Well done, Charlie. That's really subtle. Right. So, the aim of observations, as we said, is carried out by interpreters who are trying to get lots. Thank you, Charlie. That was so helpful, darling.
My hand.
Yes, we all saw your hand, which potentially hasn't been washed in a month or two. So apologies for that.
What?
Has that hand been washed recently?
What's that?
Did you wash it recently? When did you last have a bath, darling?
Oh, I thought you meant actually.
Yeah,
wash my hands.
no. I think you had a bath recently. Anyway,
No, I had a bath a few weeks ago.
oh, good. He had a bath a few weeks ago. He is joking. There's no neglect here. Right. So they want research that's high in validity and Vestayan. So they want some depth, lots of truth, and then to really be able to take a walk in the shoes of the sample that they're observing. So we'll look at how successful they might be with that. I'm going to end this here and try and empty the kitchen of no-do goods, such as my son. Thank you, darling. And then I'll be back to you with my ears. I love you too, darling. Oh my God, you're cute. Mwah, I love you. I love that child. I'll be back in a minute looking at over non-participant observation in a bit more detail. Okay, bye-bye, darlings. Bye-bye.